know you're crazy, but I only wanna be with you. You think I'm shady cause I'm out here trying to make some moves, but it ain't like that. Just know that I'll be right back. I give you all my time just to let you know you're mine. It ain't nothing, promise I'ma do it all to give you something. This love I got is only for you. You're my comfort, my future husband. I'ma give you all my heart, yeah, all of it, yeah. Baby, I know that I gotta come fix it. You the only nigga that I be missing. Swear I'm coming home to give you the business. Turn off my phone, it can leave me a message. I'ma just cover your body with kisses, kisses. Rub your body down, you know that I miss it, miss it.
Glasses in the air, toast to a higher power. Cause what you tuning in to right now,
sit down,
it's Lito's Happy Hour. Lito's Happy Hour, this is where it's at. Raw and uncut, we giving real facts. Educating, entertaining all the people. And when it come to podcasts, it ain't nothing equal. Giving people knowledge they can put in action. All the way authentic, we ain't never capping. Exclusive interviews cause we ain't never lacking. The other state is talking and we bout the action. Glasses in the air, toast to a higher power. This is Lito's Happy Hour.
This is the best safety policy there is, the best public safety policy there is. If you don't want your house robbed, if you don't want to get hit over the head at Kroger and get your stuff in the parking lot and get your stuff taken, help one of these folks get a good job so they don't feel the need to do any of those things. So again, it's not only the right thing to do, but it's a smart thing to do. So the effects of father absence, this is kind of where we have always, kind of been our baseline. Children of father absent homes are more likely to live in poverty, more likely to fail in school, have emotional or behavioral problems, abuse drugs, be abused and neglected, be involved in crime, and much more likely to commit suicide. So I like that term you use, Lamar. I think at hope kids, or we've used that risk before, but this puts you in one of those at hope categories because right away you're behind the eight ball. Again, I'll reference Judge Rice again. In his 50 years on the bench, he says the common theme of all of the pre-sentencing reports he's read is lack of an involved parent, male figure in the person's life. So again, I just can't emphasize enough how important this is, and we'll talk a little bit more about some of the solutions. So I want to try to show this short video. We'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to take a whole bunch of time trying to get it to work. But let me take one shot at it, Kevin. And if it doesn't work, I'll just roll right through. It's very brief. It's only 6 minutes long. Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Michael Newsome, Montgomery County Fatherhood Director. The Every Parent Matters program was started in 2018, and the need for the program is to help fathers. The program is helping dads by finding them employment, first of all. So what we're trying to do is make the fathers as stable as they possibly can be, because they can't help anyone if they're not feeling good about themselves.
My name is Aaron Watts the first. The Every Parent Matters program has helped me to pull my family back together. I'm able to see my two other kids a lot more than what I was before. It feels uplifting being a parent or being a father. You think you're the only one, but it's nice to see that there's others.
Raquette Lindsay Elwa, Prenatal Outreach Coordinator with Public Health Dayton, Montgomery County. We link fathers to community services such as employment, child support, parenting time visitation, re-entry from incarceration, education, physical health, and mental health.
And so what we want to do is help fathers overcome a lot of those barriers, and specifically to address infant mortality. Infant mortality is something that Montgomery County, Ohio has struggled with, and it's something that we've worked on in a variety of ways, a lot of times through the mothers for obvious reasons, but we want to bring the fathers in at this stage to try to help them help the mothers while they're pregnant to reduce some of that stress, which often leads to infant mortality.
My name is Anthony Prince, and I'm a certified community health worker.
I'm J.C. Payne, certified community health worker.
My role in the program is going out, recruiting fathers, getting them fully engaged, and removing any issues that might stop them from being fully participating in their child's life. Most fathers, they want to be involved, or they want to be fully participating in their child's life and their development and watch them grow and be there with them. It's just sometimes road bumps come along that make that challenging for them. Guys coming back into society, we link them to programs to make the transition smoother with the issues that are going on in their household.
One of the top ones I would say is the child support issues. It sounds intimidating a lot of times. They think they're really going to lose a lot of money by paying child support, where in reality, it's not as bad as they probably would think until they come in there and get those services.
A lot of fathers lack medical insurance, and it's something that they don't really think about. I've helped get some guys signed up for insurance. There are programs out here for fathers.
Well, it's our 5th annual, what we call We the Fathers of Montgomery County banquet, and we're very proud of it because the banquet really celebrates and is for the community. So, there are a lot of dignitaries that will be here, judges and commissioners, etc., but really the banquet is ultimately for the people, and we donate the tickets to deserving fathers, a vast majority of whom are coming out of incarceration.
Most time in court, the judge, or they can't really give you advice, but here at the Every Parent Matters, they give fathers an actual chance. They give people a second chance, the re-entry program. They just invited me to this beautiful banquet.
What's always interesting about what the dads tell us about their roles is that they really want to be very involved with their kids. I mean, I think that's something that not everybody understands. I think you see some of the statistics and see some of the news stories, and you think a lot of fathers are running from parenthood, but that's really not true. The fathers really want to be involved with their kids, but again, they have a lot of barriers, and quite frankly, a lot of them haven't been shown how to do it.
There's more good dads out here than people would, portray them to be. We have a lot of single dads that are very engaged with their children. And we also have fathers that want to be engaged, and the barriers that they face, we try and make sure that we can knock those barriers down.
And one of my proudest moments of the director of the program is just having guys, come up, and we'll be in support groups, and they talk about how much it's helped them and how much it's given them some new information. They're like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that I had the ability, that I did have rights, that I'm able to do certain things. Everybody on the streets telling me, it's hopeless and all that kind of stuff. Just really clearing up a lot of those myths and giving them the resources that they need to be great parents, because, that's ultimately what everyone wants.
The Every Parent Matters program is the best kept secret there is in Dayton, Ohio.
They just need to know about this type of program, because there are a lot of services out here for dads that people just don't know about.
The name of the program is Every Parent Matters. The tagline is Helping Dads Make a Difference.
Okay, and I mean, as you can see on the video, on the at the event, we have that coming up. That'll be coming up at the on June 17th to kick off Father's Day weekend. We also have a huge picnic out at Island Park on the 18th of June to for the second day of Father's Day weekend. Our events, the banquet has been around since 2016. Picnic's been around since 2012. We're trying to, again, give these guys an opportunity to do something that is a little bit better, a little bit different. The banquet, I'll send information out that so Kevin can distribute it. It's $40 a plate, but what we do is we get corporate sponsorship that will buy an entire table for $320 and ask us to distribute the 8 tickets to a deserving father and his family. And of course, the event is for everybody. It's for the whole family. And then again, on the picnic, everything we do, as I always say, it's because the same kind of events I like to go to. You hear me talking about it, it's free and there's food. So those are two things that you can definitely count on if you hear one of my events being brought up. And, again, so that's really a couple of the things that we try to, going back to my whole empowerment piece. We want to make you feel like, feel a little special. We have guys that come to that event that get their suits free from clothes at work. And man, so many of them have told us they never had a suit on before except for going to court. And so many of them told them they never saw their father in a suit. It's just so much that that we've missed out on as so many of those gentlemen have missed out on as parents, and we want to give them the opportunity to be a little bit better parents. So benefits, studies show that children with involved fathers display better cognitive outcomes, higher self-esteem, higher grades, lower levels of drug and alcohol use, and higher levels of empathy and other pro-social behavior. So I tell these guys all the time when I'm doing these presentations, I highlight that word involved because the word is, it doesn't say educated, doesn't say rich, doesn't say never been incarcerated. It just says involved. So that's what's so important, is to be an involved parent. And so, this is one of my taglines. I always say, remember, it's your presence, not your presence, that really make a difference. And, that really is what it's all about. So yesterday I was fortunate to go to a conference with my parents. My mother was, one of the leaders of the conference. It was a diversity conference, but, I like to put my parents there because they're a perfect example. When I was growing up, my mother was a teacher and my father was a maintenance man at Central State. So, again, didn't grow up in a wealthy family, as you can imagine, but, with 3 kids, but at the same time, my dad, top notch, best dad there was, and there is, fortunately. But, and again, so, and when we do our work about parenthood and fatherhood, and folks start getting upset about their father, or they start breaking down crying, whether they're 40, 50 years old, they don't ever say, he didn't buy me a car, he didn't take me to Kings Island. They say he wasn't there, so that's what we're always trying to impress upon our young men. And I have to make sure that I don't ever miss this point as well. Fathers are just as important for their daughters as they are for their sons. So, I have one of each. I'm very fortunate to have one of each that have gone through that experience with both. And, again, I know I was a 3-sport athlete and, football player and all that stuff. So I had a lot of time with my dad, trust me. So I understand the whole father-son thing. However, again, the parent, the father is just as important for his daughters. So we have to make sure that we understand that and set a good example for our young ladies as well, and make sure that they're involved in the fatherhood experience at the same time. So that's about 25 minutes there, Kevin. There's my information, and I'll be happy to take any questions if you have, if I have time to take a few.
Yes, sir. You have time. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Newsome? You can either type them or you can unmute yourself and ask your questions.
I don't have a question, but I have a comment, for Mr. Newsome. I just want to just, say that you're a blessing, sir, and whatever, just keep doing what you're doing. We definitely need people in this world like you. So just wonderful, just inspiring, just hearing all, the people on here. I know I was a little late, but just hearing your information just inspired me. So just keep doing what you're doing. That's all I have to say.
Hey man, I appreciate that, Mr. Brown. We I think the peer support is so important, and and that's why I commend KJ and Lamar for the things that he's doing as well, and I'm sure Lance is doing some of the same things. We also have a fatherhood club that we do from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on the last Monday of every month. It has been via Zoom, but so those of you that are far away, I apologize. We went in person here recently, but so it's over at Drew Health Center if you're in Dayton, and so it's from 5:30 to 7 p.m. on the last Monday of every month. And that Every Parent Matters program that you saw is through public health. I work for Montgomery County, and so it's a partnership amongst us that we've been able to, to really help a lot of fathers. For many years, I was kind of a one-man show and was kind of doing triage with these guys and giving them what they need and then moving them on. But now we have these 3 guys that are community health workers, and they can carry caseloads and do just a lot of groundbreaking things and keep the guys going. And I just, provide my little whatever I provide, And so, again, just trying to keep the word out there. You saw my mom and dad. What I meant to say there was, I'm trying to shift the community from mom in a program to mom and dad, and I just really think that's important. So many of our social services are, take that approach. My single mom comes in, they don't even say, where's the dad, who's the dad or anything. They just say, hey, we got this program that can help you fill the gap of what's his name, So, I always have to make sure that I say, hey man, everybody's got 2 parents, you may not know them both, but everybody has 2 parents. And so that's just a baseline right there. And so, people like you guys and programs like this are really is what, helps get that message out. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Newsome. Anybody else got any questions from Mr. Newsome? All right.
Great. I put just one last thing, Kevin. I put my info in the chat, and like I said, I'll send out that info about our Father's Day weekend events. You guys will love them. Trust me. So if you want, and again, everything's free. So it's not a money making venture. So I'll just want to put that out there and make sure that you have all the information. And certainly, this is not the last time you're gonna hear from me. If you want to talk to me, I always say I'm not big enough to have a secretary. So you call that number, I'm going to answer. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for everything, Mr. Newsome. Like I said, this is one of many, y'all, that we're going to be doing together. So we're going to keep everything rolling. Last but not least, all right, I have Pastor Christopher Lance Purnell. He is the senior pastor and founder of the Elevation Family Worship Center. He has served in ministry for the last 20 years under the late, great Bishop Lionel Parsons. God gave him the vision of Elevation approximately 2 years ago. He's been walking in faith ever since. Pastor Lance also is a fitness guru and trainer, and can oftentimes be caught training his son and other people looking to get into shape. He is a man of God who is walking by faith and not by sight. Cuzzo, you ready?
I'm ready. I don't got a big fancy. I can't share my screen, like Lamar and Mr. Michael here. I just can talk to you for a second, but I'm gonna do my best, but I just appreciate the platform, appreciate the invitation. This is good, just getting men together, on the Zoom call. One of the things that the first thing that God said was not good was for men to be alone. So it's good to see men coming together. Love what Lamar talked about, the mental health thing. It's so important to have that aspect together about life together, because it says, be not conformed, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So the mental aspect of life is absolutely important, and we, as the church, have kind of over the years taught us that we could praise or pray our way through everything. And sometimes you need to sit on somebody's couch, and talk to somebody. It said it is safety and a multitude of counsel. So those, I believe those things are very important. Love what Mr. Michael has talked about, the fatherhood. That's so important. Me being a father and seeing the impact that you have to deal with from people that don't have fathers in their lives. You know, and fatherhood is so important that God always refers to himself as the Heavenly Father. So he refers to the relationship as a father, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. You know, so the whole Holy Trinity. So the fatherhood is very important, and just getting those resources out and letting fathers know that they do have help and assistance in the system that we think is so much against us, which you know, from the experiences thus far, it seems like it's against us, but it's nice to know that there's someone out there working on our behalf. So I just give you guys a hand clap. Appreciate it so much, everything that you're doing. Like Kevin said, I'm the pastor of the Elevation Family Worship Center. One thing I say, we're a hot church. We're humble, open, and transparent. You know, I had trouble giving Kevin my the bio, you know, because when I preach, I don't even give a bio because, you know, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody that can change anybody. So that's just who I am, you know. You know, I'm not big on titles and position and stuff like that. You know, I am a pastor. I do take it, don't take it lightly, but I believe that sometimes we take our titles and everything more serious. I'm for young people, believe that, you know, as Whitney Houston said, I believe the children are the future, and I believe that we need to do more things, and I want to focus more stuff. We're geared about getting in the community, working with these kids, and doing different things, and definitely having the support of fathers and things of that nature is very important. We've been in existence for 2 years. We have currently had the vision. God gave me the vision to build the church from the ground up. You know, the problem that I was facing was when he told me to build the church from the ground up, we got 12 members, and we was $12,000 in the red for that year. So, but going off of what he told me and pushing forward on walking by faith, I made the announcement to the church that that's what we're going to do. Took them to a piece of land that I wanted, and lo and behold, the lady then donated the land to us. So donated the land to us, and then she joined the church. So it was a blessing that and just some things that what God can do when you step out on faith and follow what He's called you to do. So I just wanted to talk about you know, manhood for just a second. My dog is bothering me. I just want to talk about manhood for just a second. And one of the things that I believe about being a man is age. Age does not make you a man, you know. And the problem that we're having is that it's a lot of time we have grown boys walking around that are portraying as men. And the reason why that's important is because when obstacles come up and situations come in, and it's time to persevere and accept the challenge, we run instead of facing it. And what I believe that makes you a man is responsibility. And that's a word that I want to break down. I believe that's 2 words in one. It's response and ability. And I believe that responsibility is your ability to respond. Your ability to respond to different situations, your ability to respond to commitment, your ability to respond to your children, your ability to respond at work, your ability to respond to adverse situations is what we have to be able to understand. And the more you display the ability to respond, the more you'll be seen as responsible. And that's what makes you a man. And when God told Abraham, he said, now I know. I'm gonna make you the father of faith, and I'm gonna do all these things for you. But at first, I have to know that you're able to handle a certain level of responsibility. Will I be able to trust you with everything that I'm gonna put on your shoulders? And a lot of times, we kind of back down from those things, and we don't confront them. One of the things that I love what Lamar has said was that he said, when I asked him about, self-care, he said, talking to God, and I believe that relationship, and not just religion, but actually having a relationship with God, because you have to be able to spend time with him, just like Michael had stated earlier. It's not the presence, but it's the presence. And it's the same thing with your relationship with God. We sometimes only want the presence of God, the gifts that he has for us, and not his presence. And he wants to spend time with you. And the more time that you can spend with him, is the better. And I believe that is about, being a man. We believe that, the church is filled with women, and it's not really conducive for men to be in the church. It's not really conducive. It's more women in church than men, but it's more women on the planet than men. So that I don't want us to be discouraged by that, because David was a warrior and a worshiper. And so we have to understand that when you're facing obstacles and adverse situations, talk to them. Clear your mind before you respond. Talk to God first, and then respond. If you don't believe in God, and I'm not saying everybody believes in God, talk to yourself. Have that inner talk with yourself, and so you can hear how this is getting raised down, and see how you would receive it. But one of the things that I say to my younger men is that one of the things about being a man, I believe you have to be a manual. The manual is the root word is man. So one of the things that you have to be is a manual. And what the manual is two things. You can have manual labor. That's stuff that you do by hand. Is what you do by hand. And we have to be able to handle a certain amount of things. We have to be able to handle the weight of a household. We have to be able to handle the weight of children. We have to be able to handle the responsibility of going to work. We have to be able to handle our attitude, our actions, and how we respond to certain things. As a man, it's very important that we have the ability to handle certain things, handle our attitude, our anger is something that as Black men and men that have grown up in less fortunate circumstances, is something that we often have a lot of pent up anger inside of us. And if you can figure out a way to handle that and be able to express yourself without blowing up, that's one of the things that I work with my son all the time. I believe that he would only communicate when he got absolutely frustrated. And that's one of the things that we do a lot of. And one of the things that we do a lot of is just we blow up.
Glasses in the air, toast to a higher power. Cause what you tuning into right now is Lito's Happy Hour. Lito's Happy Hour, this is where it's at. Rolling